Hey movers, it's Bree here for today's 15-minute reformer Pilates class. It's going to be a focus all on the lower body. So we'll need to make sure that we have enough heavy springs on for some footwork, squishy ball between your legs. If you don't have that, use a pillow instead. And make sure your headrest, you can start with it up, but when we bridge, make sure you put it down if I don't say that when we're getting ready for that position. Most of the time I remember, but just so you know. So you're gonna start with your heels on, hip distance apart, toes up towards the ceiling, squishing that ball and keeping your pelvis and your spine in a neutral position. Press into the arms and press your carriage out. So I've got 2 reds and a green spring on. I like that for my footwork. And I'm trying to feel how my body is like trying to maintain the alignment from head to tail. We're going for 8 total, so we got 4 more. 3, pelvic floor lifting, 2, and then hold yourself out. Last one, turn the toes out and repeat, but without losing that ball. Okay, so the knees are gonna wanna open wide, but holding that ball will help you to isolate more through the glutes. 3 for 5 more. Last 2, and then final 1. Bring yourself back home, come down onto the arches. You can remove that ball just for a moment there and just massage out the feet. Not always, but I like to start with footwork just to help with the acupressure points, making sure that you have that connection to the foundation of your body, especially when it comes to any leg movements. We want to make sure that we're firing correctly. So now with your toes on, heels lifted, we're going to start your prancing. Get a nice stretch through the calves. And sometimes, depending on like my tension or like what I did yesterday or maybe at the earlier parts of the day, like I might even feel this stretch not just in the calf, but like all the way up into my hamstrings. Oh, it feels so good. Snap, crackle, and pop through those feet, through the ankles. And then heels together. When you come home, replace that ball back between the thighs and then press out and keep those heels together. So you get like a stronger engagement through those inner thighs for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so now you get to choose heels, arches, or toes. I like heels just because it helps me to isolate more through that like fast area, your thigh and your ass. Hands down, scooch away from your shoulder blocks. We get ready to bridge, so make sure your headrest is down. Let's start with articulated bridges, so rolling up through the tailbone first, the low back next. It's like you're trying to push your tailbone towards the very edge of the reformer. And as you lift up, try to find shoulder alignment. Roll yourself back down, still making sure that those feet, the knees, the hips are all into alignment. If you want a little bit more challenge, roll up with your arms up. Inhale, hold. Pull your tailbone to the very end of your carriage. If you would like more challenge, we're going to do 6 of these. So more challenge would be where you take off one of your heavier springs. So if you had 2 reds and a green on, I just took off a green and keeping the carriage pulled home. Now, if your carriage starts to move out and away, just try adding a lighter spring on. But by keeping that carriage pulled home, 3 more, we want to try to isolate more of those hamstrings with the glutes, with the core, everything working together. Final 1. Hold yourself here at the top of your bridge and then press back out. Pull and press. Pull and press. You can go for like an arm hug a tree movement for 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back home. Roll down, hands down. We'll take that ball out. Give your knees a good windshield wiper from side to side. Release any tension that might have started to creep into the back or the hips. Oh yeah. Okie doke. So then legs long over the bar, arms up. You can hold onto the ball if you want to. And then rolling yourself up one bone at a time. Roll yourself off to the side and change out your spring so we only have one single yellow. Okay, your ball can go off to the side. And we want to stand ourselves into the well. So now I have a clinical reformer, so I have to use a box as my ground. But just know if your reformer is closer to the ground, you can just stand on the ground itself. Taking a step closer towards the back edge of your reformer. And you'll have to kind of measure out. If you have shorter legs, then walk closer. If you have longer legs, walk further away. So I like to start in the middle first to kind of feel things out. My toes are down, my heel is lifted, and try to feel where like a long leg is going to maintain its position. So we don't want to like bend both knees and straighten back out. We're working towards like a side lunge position. So it actually feels better for me to hook my toes towards the front shoulder block, turn my standing foot out slightly. And now as I stay here, I'm going to lower down into a side lunge. When I come up, keep the carriage still for now. So just preparing for the movement. I'm going to heel toe out a little further. There we go. So feeling that nice stretch into the inner thigh, pushing the hips back, and as you stand tall for 3 more, drive through that, in this case, my right foot. 2, and then 1. Then from there, pulse those hips back, keeping that energy right there under the butt. Ooh, right till burnout. 2, 1. Now as you stand up, pull the carriage towards you. Then slide the carriage home, hips go back. 6 more. So if it feels like you want to pull the carriage more, this would be where your carriage probably won't come home, but you can heel toe that foot out a little bit further. So now that yellow spring is going to feel a little heavier. 5, 4. And so this is where, like, if I wanted to, I could hold on to the side edge or side frame of my tower. Final 1. But now I'm going to hold that carriage still, keeping my balance, or holding on to the side. If you have like a piece of furniture in front of you, when you're pulsing that carriage, move slightly, if barely at all, for 3, 2, and 1. Woo. Bring the carriage back home. Turn yourself towards your risers, hands rest onto it, and now your left foot, the foot that was on the reformer, hooks onto your shoulder block. Again, find your sweet spot with your right foot. You might adjust as we go, but now hovering your foot, you're gonna pull that carriage right towards your calf and then bring it back in. But as you're pulling, try to isolate more of the core rather than like just the hip flexor doing the work. And then once you start to feel more comfortable with your balance, you hover your hands, bring them into prayer or genie arms, and now you're gonna start to feel that right glute again loaded up for 2, and then we add a twist, 1. So now each time you let the carriage come home, rotate to your right. Oh mama. Pull, look center, twist, let the carriage come home. 6, 5, 4. Think about pulling your right arch away from your box. Last 2 and 1. Okay, bring your hands back down. We work our way backwards now. So left foot onto the box, right foot hooked onto the shoulder block. Try to find your neutral spine position, drawing the navel and the ribs down towards the hips. Sorry, navel is pulling up towards the ribs and ribs are going down towards the hips. I'm gonna walk myself forward just a little bit more. There we go. And I'm also gonna put my headrest up. It's kind of hitting me, getting annoying. All right, so now let's try to find that lifted position, genie arms or prayer. Do your best to keep your body from leaning like too far to the left. And this is again where you can use like some furniture, a wall in front of you, or bring something to you to hold on to. Last one, then we add our twist. So now, as you pull, stay center. As you let the carriage come home, twist left. Pull center, twist left. 6. Ooh, wobbly on this side. 5. Rotating from the waistline. 4. 3, 2, and 1. Let's do one more. I think that was 1. There we go. All right, so now turning towards Hello, Sage. My cat turning towards the other side. In this case, sorry, I'm away from you, but with those toes hooked onto the front, my left toes are turned towards like 10 or 11 o'clock. I'm gonna first lower my hips back and down, get that deep stretch through that inner thigh, and then lift back up for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and so the awesome thing about these 15 minutes, it's like quick, over before you know it. 2 and 1, we go down and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. As you stand up, pull that carriage towards you, reach the hips back as your carriage goes home. I'm gonna give myself a little bit more challenge, okay? There we go. So really, oh my gosh, already shaking. The tremor of truth here. Last 4. So strong glutes, strong inner thighs. 3, the more the hips go back, the more that carriage goes home. 2, so we keep that tension out of the knee. Final, 1. All right. Oh wait, pulses, sorry. Then we pulse, that carriage moves out an inch, in an inch for 6 more. 8 total. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Bring that carriage home. Gracefully step off, and then your hands come towards those shoulder blocks, come into a down dog or an elephant stretch there, wiggle out the tail, bending into one knee and the other, maybe even give yourself a little bit of a prance, back and forth. Now keep the legs straight, not locked, but just like a soft secret bend into the knees. Try your best to keep your spine straight when you're pushing the carriage forward. And now as you pull the carriage towards you, don't pull with your arms, instead try to pull with your core. So you're flexing at the spine, hands are on the front of your shoulder blocks there, and round the spine up. Lengthen the spine out and around as you pull the ribs towards the hips. 6, 5, 4, 3, go outside in just a minute, baby. Sage is waiting so patiently. 2, to go outside. And final 1. Press the carriage back forward, wiggle out those hips, get a nice little hamstring stretch there, and then roll yourself forward into a strong plank position. You can also come down onto your forearms if your wrists are feeling any type of way. But now from here, pull right knee towards the elbow, tick-tock from side to side as you hold that plank knee tuck. 3 more. 2, 1, step it back, left leg, tick, tock. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step it back into that down dog stretch, and you can even turn it into like more of a hamstring stretch by standing on your railroad tracks and sinking those hips back as you bend into your left knee, straightening the right. Switch to the other side. Perfect. All right, so now we're gonna step out of the well, bringing yourself back to your red, and you can leave your yellow spring on, but working through a quick little series with 1 foot, 1 red, 1 blue, 1 yellow, and both feet into the straps. Once you're there, push out, find your high 45-degree angle. Legs are in that parallel foot position. Keep your tailbone heavy, your hip points straight up, and then pull from your thighs. If you feel anything coming behind the knees, bend the knees and isolate that movement coming from behind the legs. So deadlifting, RDLs, Romanian deadlifts, anything that's like a hip hinge of a movement. We want to make sure that your spine stays long. From there, hold those legs long. Do your best to keep the carriage still as you open and close those legs. Just like a little jumping jack. Then heels together, toes apart. You're gonna open the legs up, out, and around and bring the toes together at the top. Up, out, and down. Up, out, and around. Out, down. Keep those hips level as we go into that internal, then external rotation. It's like you're tracing around the outline of a circle. So core is still strong, legs working here together. Let's finish here with a nice inner thigh stretch. We did a lot of that inner thigh with those carriage pulls. And you can bring your legs back together, pushing the knees away, letting the straps pull the feet towards you. Or you can use your elbows to push the knees away and your hands to pull the feet toward you. All right, and that is our 15 minutes. So hope you guys enjoyed that. A nice quick little booty burn for you. When you're ready to take the feet out of the straps, bring your straps back to their home. Lower the legs long over the foot bar. Always rolling yourself up and trying to transition with grace and dignity. And I'll see you guys next time. We're ready to move. Bye.